What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you're a first time viewer, please like and subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, please don't forget to like and share. So over the couple of days, it's been 3 days to be specific, it's been 3 days, and coming back to Pretoria, I made the discovery that the car did not want to start. So I don't really know much about cars. I really love cars, but I don't know like the mechanical side of things and the technical stuff. I love like specs, horsepower, torque, cosmetics of cars, but I don't really know much about mechanical stuff. So obviously engaging in this project was my very first time getting into like the technical side of things. So yeah, we made the discovery that the car didn't want to start, and so my brother and I had a couple of attempts trying to start the car, and we couldn't really figure out what the problem was. We tried to check if fuel was pumping into the engine, that looked okay, and then we tried checking if there were sparks in the engine, and then I think that's where we kind of like figured out, that's where the problem might be. Then as we were attempting, I asked my brother if he had tried asking the panel beater if he could assist us, because I mean at that point we're technically kind of clueless. We had an idea, but also at the same time we were clueless. And so the next day he went to fetch the mechanic, who happens to be the panel beater as well, the guy who worked on the car. And then he checked the car, and then him and his friend basically took out the spark plugs, and then it turned out that the spark plugs were toast, right?
Yeah. Working. I was working. I'm not paid.
So now obviously the fix would be to then change the spark plugs, right? You have to remove the spark plugs in order to change the spark plugs, So okay, sharp. And they start attempting to do that, right? And then it turned out that basically all of the spark plugs were toast. The previous owner of the vehicle was driving the car without changing the spark plug, right? Yeah, so the spark plugs were toast, and while we're removing all of the spark plugs, there's a spark plug that broke inside of the top. So then the threads were left inside of the top.
Shit is toxic. Shawty took a couple pics for her friends at the gram. What the fuck? Tell me what you want if you start.
I am waiting to Cape Town. I think I can feel more time. Yeah. I'm gonna follow. Yeah. I'm not like so much.
The black thing I'm gonna pack.
Yeah.
Because they're going to talk, man.
Lemon trees though.
Lemon trees are going to change. Rarely are going to.
And then it was just like basically half a spark plug, not half, but like, it's a broken spark plug and the threads were stuck inside. So then the solution was to take off the top so that the threads of the spark plug can be taken out of the top, and then we can replace the spark plug. So spark plugs are usually like 100 rand, but in a situation like that we obviously have to pay more money to get the threads of the spark plug replaced, And so day 2 they didn't come back. I don't know why, but I wasn't around, I had some work. And then day 3, which happens to be today, the guys came back, and then it turned out that they took the top to some engineering guys, and then they were able to take out the threads from the top, and then they assembled the engine back together again and inserted the new spark plugs, and the car started. So fortunately the car is driving again. and it idles properly. It doesn't idle in a weird way, because in the beginning it was misfiring. So I'd like to assume that it was because of the spark plugs. It had sparks, but they were not enough for the car to like idle properly. So this is the car. Currently I'm going to try not to show people's number plates. Okay, so this is the car currently. The reason why the engine bay is open is because they put silicone there for the top to be sealed, basically, you know. And we want the sun, well, the sun is gone now, but we want the silicone to get dry, and then we'll be able to add coolant into the engine. So the spark plugs go into these little units. Oh, don't mind my ashy hands. Yeah, but like the spark plugs go into these units. So the spark plug that goes in here is the one that's broken. I'll just show a little clip of the difference between a spark plug that has threads and one that has broken into the top.
This shit is a marathon. Put my heart on the verse. I give him a word. I've been on a crazy run. Lost for words. Faded letters on a keyboard. Got me losing control. Why this block on my telly ironic? I'm telling Max, but I couldn't tell. Can't escape the music. I'm deep in the shit. I know that it's part of my life.
So this entire unit was taken out and then taken to the engineering guys for what's this, for them to be able to then remove the threads from the top, and then they assembled the engine today again and adjusted the idling, and then yeah, I guess the car is fine now. Yeah, so while we're here, I'll just show you the interior, even though it's dirty, but I'll just show you the interior, because we've put the interior back together. I'll just show you quickly so that you can see how it looks now. Yeah, this is the inside of the vehicle. This is the new roof lining. Those are the panels right there in the middle, here as well, there, and also this side. Can't really show you that angle because it's an awkward angle. And then this is the part that I was gluing that material on the other night. If you've watched the previous videos, you will see that I was gluing that material on that part because it looked really rusty. So yeah, the car is currently dirty and it has random things inside because we've been working on it for a while. Seat boxes, they were trying to keep the interior clean, but it got dirty again anyway, so we might have to take it for a wash again. So yeah, this is Linda as it stands. This is Linda present day after getting a little surgery, and the engine is running again. So a few mechanical things that need to be fixed, and then Linda will be 100%. I know, it's really beautiful. Nice car, gorgeous.
Just give me a Glock. Nobody calling me buddy, cause I got a problem. You switch up, I leave. Nobody checking the clock. It's certain that